Good morning, everyone. Today's assembly is part of an upcoming special week called Anti-Bullying Week, and this is the big anti-bullying assembly which has been made by a lot of famous people. So I'm not going to talk for very long, just introduce it and then I'll have a little message for you at the end. So enjoy this, see you in a minute.
This is the big Anti-Bullying Assembly 2020. Brought to you by the Diana Award and Nationwide Building Society. Building mutual respect together. Starring children's TV presenters Richie and Waxy, Twist and Pulse, Katie Loom, James McVeigh, Will Poulter, Peter Andre, Carrie, David and Talia Grant, Cal Spellman, Addy Adeptian, and some big stars, some even bigger mystery guests, and one really, really big mission.
Hello, it's Hacker here, and I'm putting up my hand and pledging to put an end to bullying.
But first, here's Richie and Waxy.
Hi everyone, and welcome to a very different kind of school assembly. And it's different because we're here for one thing.
We certainly are. One thing and one thing only. But different also because so much has changed this year because of COVID-19. Home life has changed, loads of grown-ups are working from home, and most of you have been doing lessons from home before the summer holidays.
Exactly, and shops were shut, you couldn't go out and play with your friends, you couldn't go and visit family or go on holiday. I know, but even now there's still lots of things that are very different about our everyday lives, but slowly but surely I feel like things are getting back to normal.
Slowly but surely, which is why most of you are now back at school, and welcome back, and why we're here for the big Anti-Bullying Assembly 2020.
Yay!
It's big.
Did you know that for thousands of young people just like you, not being at school during the lockdown was a bit of a relief?
Yeah. Not because they've been missing lessons, but because it meant they wouldn't be bullied. Bullying is the subject of our big assembly today. You'll be hearing stories from people who've been bullied and hearing about all the things that you can do to stop bullying, and about some of the work the Diana Award team are doing to tackle bullying in schools all over the country.
Exactly, but first we want all of you to know exactly what we mean by bullying.
Now, bullying is repeated negative behaviour that is intended to make others feel upset, uncomfortable, or unsafe. And the way people can be bullied can take different forms as well.
It can be verbal bullying when someone keeps saying horrible things to you.
Or it can be indirect or cyberbullying when someone uses social media to say unkind things about you or spread rumours that just aren't true.
Or when you're not asked to join in with your friends, for instance, if everyone's playing a game and you're left out on purpose.
And then there's physical bullying as well, like slapping or kicking or punching.
But whatever form it takes, bullying is not okay. And we're all here today to make sure no one in your school or any school has to experience it.
Hi, I'm Tyrone Mings, and I feel like everybody's differences should be celebrated. There's no shame or harm in being different, so that's why I'm putting my hand up to commit to putting an end to bullying.
We've just seen and heard the words we use to describe bullying, but what does it actually feel like to be bullied?
Ever since a young age, I was bullied and called names, which wasn't so great. It affected my school life, my home life, and my friends around me.
I got bullied really bad as a child, really bad, and I hated school, and I never finished school because of it.
I was verbally bullied, so I was very hurt by what he would say, and it made me feel very uncomfortable.
I got pulled down the corridor by my hair, I was hurt, I had names called at me, I had my stuff thrown off the school bus.
They chased me into the toilets and I actually had to lock the door, and even then they were trying to climb in and it was really scary.
I was bullied and it was cyberbullying, and even though people think it's not a big deal and I'll just get over it, it's really not as easy and as people make it sound.
You never forget the feeling, so you'd never forget what happened.
It felt like I couldn't escape. It was everywhere I went. Everyone I looked at, they were looking at me, laughing at me.
I went home crying every day because I didn't know what to do about it or how to deal with it.
You feel like you can't do anything, it's just going to happen for the rest of your life. It felt like I was some sort of planet, and this portal had sucked me into this internal darkness realm.
Feeling alone, feeling like you're not good enough for something or good enough for someone, feeling like people will be ashamed to sing with you.
But one of my really special friends, he stuck up for me.
Having the support of someone else really makes it easier, and they can help you solve the problem.
They like going to talk to us, like their own pupils, and it makes them feel like calmer because, you know, we're actually experiencing that and we've experienced it.
My school tackled lots of bullies, that's why I'm very happy.
It makes a lot of difference knowing that you have somebody to go to, because it's better telling somebody your age because you can talk to them more and they're your friends.
And now that planet has pulled itself out, like I've pulled myself out of this misery and become what I am, and obviously getting lots more friends. Tackling bullying and making people smile. That's what I'm passionate about.
Those children and young adults are all very brave to speak about their experiences of being bullied. And because they chose to talk about it, they were able to find the help they needed. It's a scary thing at first to talk about what's happening to you, but it is the best way to make it stop.
Certainly is. But who do you talk to about being bullied? Who would be the people that you could ask for help? Your parents and guardians, of course, and your teacher, but who else? Who can you turn to?
Hi there, we're Carrie and David Grant. You may recognise us from Glee Club, Pop Shop or The One Show.
I'm Talia Grant and I play Brooke from Hollyoaks.
Today we want to share with you some of our bullying experiences. I personally always felt different at school and I was made to feel really ashamed of that. Unfortunately, I didn't feel I had anyone I could reach out to. But looking back, I realised there were a handful of people I could have asked for help from. I just didn't realise.
Now, I experienced racism at school and there were some people I didn't know if I could talk to them, but I did have a handful of friends and members of my family who would get it. They were my community.
I personally experienced a lot of bullying in my school towards me, to the point where it was even hard for me to go into school.
We all have people in our lives, whether they're in school or out of school, who we can go to if we have a worry or concern. These are our support network.
Sometimes it can be helpful to think about who those people are before you need them. That way, if something does come up that worries you or you need to talk to someone, you've already thought about who these people are.
At the Anti-Bullying Ambassador training, we learned that it's always important to have someone to talk to if there's a problem in or outside of school. We asked the whole school to draw their own hand and write 5 people they'd go to if they had a problem.
So Talia, who do you think your support network are?
My parents, my older sister Olive, my friend Georgia, my dogs, myself, and my therapist.
So quite a few, you've got a whole list.
Good. So you see why it's so important to have a think about it in advance, to make sure that you are supported.
I'm putting my hands up and pledging to put an end to bullying.
This is the Big Anti-Bullying Assembly 2020. It's big.
I'm Ash. And I'm Glenn. And we're Twist and Pulse. Hearing people's experiences of bullying has made us both want to put our hands up and make the anti-bullying pledge. We're putting our hands up and pledging to put an end to bullying.
We just learned about the importance of a support network, which identifies the 5 people you could talk to if you were being bullied. So have a think about who the 5 people in your support network would be. That's something that you could do with your teacher after this assembly. And teachers, you can do it, of course, as well. Write down the names of the 5 people you could turn to for help. It could be a grown-up at home or at school, a friend, a brother or sister, cousin, or a support service such as Childline. Here's someone else's 5-person network. Do you know who it is?
That Prince William, which means his grandmother is...
Yes, the Queen. Woo!
Wow.
One of the amazing things the Diana Award team have been doing to tackle bullying is to recruit anti-bullying ambassadors from schools across the country. We're going to hear from an anti-bullying ambassador right now. You might just recognise him.
Hi guys, I'm Peter Andre, and I want to tell you why I've become an anti-bullying ambassador. My childhood experience, I suffered a lot of racism, which some was bullying, just standard bullying, and some was racism. Either way, it was bullying. And being called names was one thing, very hard to deal with as a kid, but then of course it turned to violence where the kids would tie me up. This is true what I'm saying to you. Kids would tie me up to the fence at school and they take turns throwing stones to see which one would hit me in the head. But this was at a time where there wasn't any other cultures and it was just us. So as hard as it was, now of course I've forgiven everybody, because a lot of those people I think just were fitting in and doing what they thought other kids were doing. Doesn't make it right, but I now understand where and why and how they were doing it. And I guess that brings me to how I feel about bullying now that I'm a parent and I see my kids, and I'm really grateful that they don't go through a lot of bullying. But I know a lot of my kids' friends have experienced bullying, and it's very scary as a parent. Now you've got online bullying, and this is the bit that really scares me, right? Because online bullying is very different to face-to-face. When you're face-to-face with someone, you can see whether they genuinely are angry at you or whether they're just trying to fit in with other kids. When someone's hid behind a computer and it's just words, black and white, you see in front of you, you conjure up all sorts of thoughts of what the person's like, what they look like, how are they angry, are they joking? You just don't know. Block that person. Anybody that sends you something negative, because I tell you what, don't bite back, don't answer back, because all that does is it creates sort of more tension. Report things, stand up for yourself, stand up for others, celebrate yourself being different. All of these things are important. So I've been trained as an anti-bullying ambassador, and I'm really proud to be part of a network of over 35,000 anti-bullying ambassadors around the UK. Now you should know that if you ever need help, we're here for you, I'm here for you. There's a real importance about mutual respect for each other. If you're nice to people, 99% of the time, they're going to be nice back to you. And in life you're going to have ups and downs. When you have those down times, what you'll find is that if you're nice to people, they will show you that mutual kindness back. So it makes their life easier when you're polite to them. It makes your life easier, and learning mutual respect will get you very, very far in life. I'm really proud to be an anti-bullying ambassador, and for that reason I'm putting my hand up and pledging to put an end to bullying.
This is the Big Anti-Bullying Assembly 2020. It's big.
Hi there, my name is Will Poulter. I'm an actor and I'm putting my hand up and pledging to end bullying.
Hello, my name is Kel Spellman. I hope you're all okay and you're ready and raring to go for the new school year ahead. First things first, I want to wish you all the luck in the world for the new school year. I hope you have the best time and have lots of fun while you're at school.
Hi guys, my name's James McVeigh and I'm in a band called The Vamps. I play guitar. I'm really proud to be supporting the Big Anti-Bullying Assembly 2020.
Hello everyone, how you doing? My name's Adia Depitan and I'm raising my hand and pledging to put an end to bullying.
I believe school should be a safe and happy environment. School for me, growing up, wasn't always a safe and happy environment. And I think it needs to be, because your education and your happiness while at school is so, so important.
Bullying is something that I went through while I was at school. Now, I'm okay about it and it hasn't defined me. But one thing it did teach me is that I feel nobody should have to go through that. No one should be bullied. Nobody should be made to feel sad or upset about being different or feel left out.
When I was growing up, I was bullied a lot. I remember moments when children used to stand outside my parents' house, laughing, making monkey noises. Now, I don't know why they did it, but it made me feel really sad. There were other times when people used to just laugh at me because I had a disability or because I use a wheelchair. And I've even been judged because of the colour of my skin.
I definitely stuck out from other people, and that's why I was bullied. So it's about celebrating being different, celebrate that talent and harness that talent and that ability.
Because what makes us different is what makes us unique, and it's what makes you special.
Bullying can make you feel sad, can make you feel scared. And the way it affected me the most was that it made me feel really lonely. But what you gotta remember is that you are never alone.
We look out for each other, we look after each other, we stand up for each other and speak out when we see something that isn't right.
If you witness bullying, the best thing you can do is offer them a friendly ear so that they can talk to you.
I believe the reason why people bully is because they're afraid of things they don't understand. They're afraid of things that are different. But it's okay to be different. I think it's cool to be different. Own your own cool.
Because if when I started writing songs, if I let the bullies win, I would have never written the songs that I did, and inevitably the Vamps wouldn't have happened. So being different is not a hindrance, and it should be celebrated. And that's why I'm putting my hand up and pledging to put an end to bullying.
Remember, we all have individual, unique fingerprints, which means we're all different. We should all celebrate our differences, and we should all be kind. Kindness is magic. So I hope you'll join me in standing up against bullying, saying no, it shouldn't exist anywhere in any form. And that is why I am putting my hand up and pledging to put an end to bullying.
I'm putting my hand up and pledging to put an end to bullying.
It's big.
So this has been the Big Anti-Bullying Assembly 2020, and we really hope you enjoyed it.
But before you go, we have a message from a very special guest.
As a coach of young players and as a parent, I'm conscious of the impact of bullying on the self-esteem and confidence of young people. And as a result of that, I'm putting my hand up to pledge to put an end to bullying.
This is the Big Anti-Bullying Assembly 2020.
And that's just about it for the Big Assembly 2020. But before we do finish, what lessons have we learned today? Well, we've learned about the different kinds of bullying and about how all kinds of bullying can have a terrible effect on people. We've learned about the importance of speaking out about bullying and about finding our own people support network. And we've learned that there is so much we can all do to help put an end to bullying, either by becoming an anti-bullying ambassador or simply by putting your hand up and making them.
Do you know what? I think we should do that right now. Is everyone ready? Grown-ups as well. This might be a good time to get ready to take a photo and share what you're doing to stand up to bullying in your school as part of the Big Assembly 2020. Make sure to tag us on social media at AntiBullyingPro and use the hashtag AntiBullyingAssembly so we can all see that you're doing your pledge. I'm putting my hand up and pledging to put an end to bullying.
So this has been the Big Anti-Bullying Assembly 2020, and we hope you really, really enjoyed it.
And a great big thank you to everyone who joined us today, and an even bigger thanks to all of you out there for being a part of the Big Assembly. Goodbye.
Bye.
So there you go. If you are being bullied, there are many, many things you can do, and you are not alone. And if this is happening to you at John Wealden, or you go to John Wealden and it's happening to you outside of school, there are important things that you must do. So take an opportunity to speak to someone in school. Let your mums and dads know that you'd like to have somebody that you can speak to in school, and school will arrange it. We have teachers who can speak to you, and we have students who can speak to you. If somebody's being horrible to you on the internet, block them. You don't need anybody telling you you're not any good at anything or you could improve in some way. Those people are not important. You don't want them in your life because they won't make you happy. So block anyone on the internet who says anything unpleasant to you, and let your mums and dads know, or you can let us know at school. And remember that you're unique. Mostly, nearly always, people who are being bullied are unique in some way, and as it said in the video, that means other people are worried about them because they're different. If you're being bullied, it means you're unique, and you need to remember that. It means you're a special person and will help you deal with the people who are not special and are making your life very difficult. And I love the thing about the hands that said write down the 5 people who you can talk to. So do that, and do that now. Do that before you've got any problems, so you already know who you're going to talk to. And finally, I'd just like to say that I am putting my hand up and pledging to put an end to bullying.